Good evening to all. Welcome to Elite IS Academy, Ranchi, Jharkhand. As you well know, that we were discussing about development of Indian Constitution, and we have already discussed the development of Indian Constitution under British East India Company. I mean Regulating Act of 1773 to the Act of India 1853. Then after we started the constitutional development under British rule 1858, the Crown Act of 1858 to the Act of India 1935. And regarding some important extra activities about development of Indian Constitution under British rule, we have already read Simon Commission, Nehru Report, and Cripps Mission Plan. Now we are going to start an important portion of development of Indian Constitution. You can say that this act is milestone in history of development of Indian Constitution under British rule, and that is Cabinet Mission Plan. Cabinet Mission Plan 1946. Cabinet Mission Plan 1946. In history of development of Indian Constitution, this was the milestone. This was the pillar, you can say. Why? Because first of all, this cabinet mission recommended to set up constitute assembly for making of Indian Constitution. First of all, the importance of history of this cabinet mission plan we should know. Although this is not a part of our topic, but we must know historical background of this type of very important act. Like I am expressing, you know, during Second World War, Vincent Churchill was the Prime Minister of Britain. But Prime Minister Churchill was not interested to consider about independence of India. And after Second World War in 1945, the general election of House of Commons of British Parliament organized. In this election, The political party of British Prime Minister Churchill, Conservative Party, has lost the authority of British government. Churchill was defeated in this election, and Churchill was the main leader of Conservative Party of Britain, and Labour Party got victory, उसकी जीत हुई. Labour Party as a political party has entertained British government, and Clement Attlee was appointed as a Prime Minister of Britain, who was the leader of Labour Party, who got majority in House of Commons of Britain. Just like Lok Sabha in India, that is known as in Britain House of Commons. चर्चिल हार गए, नया प्राइम मिनिस्टर मिला ब्रिटेन को, दैट वाज क्लीमेंट एटली, who was leader of Labour Party. And Clement Attlee was interested to consider to make the constitution. This was the reason that British Prime Minister Clement Attlee announced, or you can say declared, that a mission will be sent to India to consider for making of Indian Constitution. Attlee ने ये डिसाइड किया कि भारत को एक मिशन प्लान भेजेगा, जो इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन और कॉन्स्टिट्यूट असेंबली के बारे बातचीत करेगा. तो क्लीमेंट एटली announced in British Parliament that a mission will be sent to India, and the main purpose of this mission will be to consider and talk with important national leader of Congress for making of Indian Constitution. And this cabinet mission plan chairman was Patrick Lawrence. He was the chairman of cabinet mission plan, and two other members of this cabinet mission plan were first Stafford Cripps, and second member was, or you can say third member, because he was the first member, he was the second, and he is the third. There were three members in cabinet mission. Patrick Lawrence was the chairman, and other two members, first Stafford Cripps, and second A.V. X. A.B. Alexander. Both are member of cabinet mission plan. Suppose a question generally asked in civil services examination, like suppose we have a question that an example question, which one of the following was where members of cabinet mission plan 1946. Your option is A. Panthic Lawrence. B. Stafford Cripps. C. A.B. Alexander. And D. All of the above. Your correct answer will be D. This type of questions generally asked in your civil services examinations, even in UPSC level and even in state level सर्विसेज कमीशन. तो क्वेश्चन का पैटर्न के साथ स्टडी प्रिपरेशन होना जरूरी है. क्वेश्चन का पैटर्न आपके पास नहीं है, द नेचर ऑफ आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस आपके पास नहीं है, आप पढ़े जा रहे हैं तो दैट विल नॉट बी बेनिफिशियल. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट मेन recommendations of cabinet mission plan. कैबिनेट मिशन प्लान में क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट रिकमेंडेशन किया? फर्स्ट, टू set up constitute assembly. This was the important recommendation of कैबिनेट मिशन प्लान. उन्होंने कहा कि members of provincial assembly will elect of members of constitute assembly. उसे रिकमेंड किया कि constitute assembly will have power to make the constitution, but the member of constitute assembly will not be elected by the people, because it is compulsory to make the constitutions scholars and intellectuals must be elected for making of constitutions. This was the reason that cabinet mission plan recommended the member of constituent assembly will be elected by the member of provincial assembly. Provincial assembly means what? Today we say legislative assembly of Jharkhand. This legislative assembly was known as provincial assembly in British period. And second important was on base of per 10 lakhs 10 lakhs people, a member of constituent assembly will be elected. यानी कि प्रत्येक 10 लाख की आबादी पर एक मेंबर कंस्टिट्यूट असेंबली में इलेक्ट किया जाएगा फॉर मेकिंग ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. These important suggestions recommended by cabinet mission plan in 1946. And second recommendation completed. Cabinet mission plan. And second important recommendation of this cabinet mission plan was what? The demand of Pakistan was not considerable. Cabinet mission plan recommended that the demand of Muslim League for separate nation as a Pakistan will not be accepted. Because Muslim League ultimately accepted the recommendation of cabinet mission, and the Muslim League participated in Constituent Assembly, and Muslim League participated even in election for Constituent Assembly. These are important recommendations of cabinet mission plan. After cabinet mission plan, we have to start the making of Indian Constitution. This is important. And here once again I have to discuss about history of the election of Constituent Assembly. In election of Constituent Assembly, Congress got full majority, but Muslim League could not get majority in Constituent Assembly, and Muslim League ultimately boycotted Constituent Assembly, boycotted the election of Constituent Assembly, and Muslim League said divide and go. जब मुस्लिम लीग को लगा कि कांग्रेस को मेजोरिटी मिल गई है कंस्टिट्यूट असेंबली में, अब कांग्रेस की चलेगी, मुस्लिम लीग की चलेगी नहीं, तो मुस्लिम लीग ने क्या किया कि बैकआउट कर दिया दोनों का। किसका? कंस्टिट्यूट असेंबली का भी और इलेक्शन का भी। उसने अंग्रेजों से क्या कहा? डिवाइड एंड गो, बांटो और जाओ। ऑन 16th अगस्त 1946 को मुस्लिम लीग ने यह बात कहा और डिमांड क्या किया? डिमांड ऑफ मुस्लिम लीग, क्या डिमांड था? सेपरेट नेशन एज ए पाकिस्तान फर्स्ट, एंड सेकेंड सेपरेट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन फॉर पाकिस्तान। ये दो डिमांड कर दिया मुस्लिम लीग। अब पूरे देश में दंगे, राइट्स, कॉमनल राइट्स होने लगे, मारपीट, हिंदू मुसलमान। अब इस बीच मेकिंग ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का काम रुक गया। अब इस नए चैलेंज का सामना करने के लिए गवर्नर जनरल को बदलना पड़ा। क्या बदलना पड़ा? लॉर्ड माउंटबेटन was appointed as a new Governor General of India to face this challenge. पाकिस्तान के डिमांड के चैलेंज को फेस करने के लिए अल्टीमेटली लॉर्ड माउंटबेटन वाज अपॉइंटेड एज ए न्यू गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ इंडिया, एंड माउंटबेटन plan 1947, this is known as Mountbatten plan. In this plan, chairperson was Lord Mountbatten, who was Governor General of India, and this plan recommended recommended for separate nation and constitution for Pakistan on 3rd June 1947. On 3rd June 1947. Thus, the challenge of Pakistan will be solved because it has been decided to provided separate constitution for Pakistan and as a separate nation of Pakistan. Okay. Now we are going to start the making of Indian constitution in actual figure. This was the main problem. Our Constituent Assembly was having to face this type of critical problem. This problem was separate constitution and separate nation as a Pakistan by Muslim League. Ultimately, Gandhiji and Indian National Congress had to accept both of demand of Muslim League. Now, and now, first on 9th December 1946, first sitting of Constituent Assembly. These dates are very important. Constituent Assembly की पहली बैठक 9 दिसंबर 1946 को हुई and who was the chairperson? Chairperson was the most oldest, the most important leader, Dr. Sachida Nand Sinha. Second, on 11th December 1946, actual chairman was appointed Dr. Rajendra Prasad of Constituent Assembly, and on 13th December 1946, resolution of objectives, this was also known preamble, was introduced in Constituent Assembly by पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू. Resolution of objectives. This resolution was known as a preamble letter, जो बाद में preamble के नाम से जाना गया. These are all important dates and events of Constituent Assembly. And next, any problem, any question, any doubt, you can ask about your doubt in your personal WhatsApp number also. Okay. Next. Fourth. On 22nd January 1947, resolution of objectives was accepted by Constituent Assembly, introduced by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and accepted by Constituent Assembly. Why? Assembly to consider. And fifth, on 26 November 1949, Constituent Assembly adopted, अपना लिया, adopted this resolution of objectives. एग्जाम में क्या करता है पता है? इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन में ऑप्शन दे देता है 26 जनवरी 1950, जबकि इन एक्चुअली the resolution of objectives has been adopted by Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949, not in 26 January 1950, because overall all constitution has been adopted by this assembly on 26 January 1950, but some part of constitution have been adopted by this assembly on 26 November 1949. Any problem, any doubt, any questions? And Anjali, Gaurav, both are present, but I am watching only one person is attending now. Why? Anjali run away or Gaurav run away? कौन भागा दोनों में? अंजलि तो है, गौरव भाग गया. बाद में रिकॉर्ड देख लीजिएगा एंड नोट डाउन योर कॉपी, इट विल बी मस्ट। थैंक यू।